Hello. Now it looks like that there is another war in making, and from two wars, that is one in Ukraine, another in Gaza. Instead of moving from 2 to 1 to 0, the world is moving probably towards 2 to 3, 3 to 4, or even more. Because in Red Sea, now United States, in the leadership of United States, the West is actually making up a big armada, and it is obvious to attack the Houthi rebels there in Yemen, who are attacking the cargo ships going from the Red Sea. And Red Sea is the entry and exit point to the Suez Canal. Lot of trade from Asia to Europe and from Europe to Asia goes via Red Sea. So it has got its economical implications. But it looks like that the Western coalition under the leadership of the United States is making itself, but the countries are not really interested, and all the heavy lifting will be done by the United States, because they say 20 countries have joined, but out of these 20 countries they have named just around 12, and 8 countries it seems are not interested in naming themselves. And this is at a time when countries want to name themselves if they are participating in anything. So why will 8 countries do not want to name themselves? There can be many reasons, but look at those countries who have named themselves and their contribution. The biggest contributor, you can say, is the United Kingdom, who has sent its ship, which is called Diamond, about which the British Telegraph says that this warship regularly suffers from total electrical failure and collapse. That warship they have sent. If you talk about Australia, they have not sent a single ship, and what they have contributed is by sending 11 soldiers, just 11. Netherlands has sent, if I am not wrong, 10 soldiers. I think it was New Zealand which sent 2 soldiers. So all the heavy lifting, or rather you can say everything, has to be done only by the United States. And it looks to me that for neocons, the main target is Iran. It was on the Fox News where it was said that the main pecker is Iran, and they consider Iran as the head of the octopus. So they want to go on Iran by this huge armada which they are gathering in the Persian Gulf region, in the Red Sea. But will they succeed? I doubt, because opening up a front there against Iran, if they want to open a front against Iran, it will not be a front just against Iran, then it will be a front against Yemen, it will be a front against Syria, it will be a front against Lebanon. So it will include many countries. Then there will also be a factor of Russia. Don't forget that during the Ukraine war, it was Iran who supplied them missiles and drones against all the odds, against all the sanctions. So this will be the time of Russian payback. Already they are supplying them Sukhoi 35s. So if they want to start a war, the neocons, who are all about the wars and what we have seen, that they are not very calculative in opening war, but later they start calculating. This happened in Iraq, we saw the same in Afghanistan, we saw the same in Ukraine, where they were talking about collapse of Putin, collapse of Moscow, fragmentation of Russian Union, which didn't happen. So when they start a war, they are not calculative, but later on they realize it, and they have done it so many times. So even if now they start a war, I don't think that the political ends will succeed. But why they want to start a war? Why they don't want to play diplomacy? The easiest way to stop all this crisis in the Red Sea is via diplomacy. And there are several ways for it, like UN Security Council. Already there are moves in the UN. Constantly there are moves in the Security Council for a ceasefire, because the Houthis who are attacking are linking these attacks with the ongoing crisis there in Gaza. So if the Gazan conflict is made to cease fire, these attacks will automatically stop. And this requires back-channel diplomacy, the United Nations diplomacy, the Security Council diplomacy. They can also open back-channel talks with Iran to control these Houthis. It is the same way that Donald Trump used when he was the president, when Qasem Soleimani was executed, and he opened back-channel talks with Iran, and Iran put control on its proxies there in Iraq. Same can be applied here, but it looks like American diplomacy has died along with Henry Kissinger's death. And just put a full stop on the crisis in Gaza, go for a ceasefire, and everything will stop. Then you can go after Houthis. You can go after them via Iran. You can try to integrate them into Yemeni governance and make them moderate. You can talk to Iranians that let's solve the Yemen problem once for all. Already US ally Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates have attacked Houthis for almost 6 to 7 years, but they failed, and they were attacking them with the same weapon system of American origin. So why we should think that this time, when Saudis are also not there, who are the border sharing neighbor of Yemen, of Houthis, they are also not joining. Even Emiratis are not joining the coalition. That this coalition will be successful, I don't think so. So the only answer to this crisis, or only real answer to this crisis, is just diplomacy. Work on ceasefire. When countries like India, China, Russia, or you can say all the countries except United States of America wants a ceasefire, then why you are not allowing diplomacy to work? And the only successful resolution of Red Sea issue and other conflicts in the region can be via diplomacy.